Hey there, what is up? Welcome to another video installment of just these little fireside chats. There's no fire, by the way, just a little chat with me, sat in my lovely little dining room / office. I even have a brew, ready to just sit back and talk to you about random topics that just spring into my head on a daily basis that I just kind of want to share with you, not in some sort of glossy, glamorous sort of video. Not that I make any glossy or glamorous videos, but you know what I mean, like polished podcasts and things like that, scripted out. This is just me talking, one take. We only do one take, and then we put it out on YouTube, and you can kind of see it, digest it, and have me talk to you in a nice little friendly way. So if you ever want to ask me any questions that you want me to talk about in an environment like this, then feel free to ask me. You can ask me anything. Literally, nothing is ever off the table when I talk to someone. If it's nutrition, training, mindset, business stuff, social media, personal stuff, cool. Ask me some questions. I will do my best to answer them. But what I want to talk about today is a quote I saw on social media. Now, usually I don't really consume other people's content in any great way, shape, or form. I usually use social media as my means of communicating and connecting with my audience and the people that follow me and my clients and things like that, just to really help people and help me get my message out to the rest of the world. That's what I use social media for. I rarely sit there and consume other people's content. However, I was scrolling through my feed the other day, yesterday or the day before, and I came across a quote from Frank Kern. Now, people who don't know Frank Kern, he is like a marketing expert guy. He's worked with Tony Robbins and people like that. So this dude knows his shit. He knows what he's talking about. And the quote that grabbed me is, I will bastardize the quote. It'll probably be something slightly different to this, but he said, if you want to impress people, or if you want to try and impress people, make it complicated. If you want to try and help people, keep it simple. And that really kind of struck a chord with me, because ever since I started I'm Paradise Fitness, one of the mantras of the business was always simple. It's the first word in the little strap line that says simple, honest, personal. My view is that nutrition, training, all of this sort of stuff can be made super, super simple. And that's what I want to get across to people and what I want to help people with, because there's so much going on in terms of nutrition information, myths, bullshit, all different sorts of diets being thrown at you, ways of training that are just not necessary. Most people, especially the people that are attracted to the work that I do and the message that I give, really just need to keep things super, super simple. And I'm not trying to impress people. I have to say that when I first started out, I was trying to maybe not impress, but not be ridiculed or not be looked down on by other industry professionals. So I would used to quote studies and science-based evidence, which is great. You've got to have that background, but in a way that it was just dull. It was boring. It was just me putting in words, putting in references just for the sake of saying, I know my shit. Not necessarily saying, well, what does the person receiving this article or this podcast actually want to know? And how do I best communicate with them? And that's the piece of the puzzle I was missing early on. And I think is the piece of the puzzle, whether it's fitness or any other industry actually, is that often is the missing link. It's the missing link between the person that you're trying to communicate with and yourself. Is the missing link is how does that person want me to talk to them? Now, I felt that, I had to kind of be that guy who gave references and talked all sciencey, but actually people don't want to know that shit. Maybe some do. Cool. If that's you, cool, go for it. But people want to know, in my view, that you have the knowledge, you have the science background, you have a background in evidence-based nutrition, and you have a background in knowing stuff about training and things like that. They want to know that you know that, but they don't need to have that rammed down their throat every 5 fucking minutes. What I feel that people want is the simplest piece of information that will help them make the biggest amount of results. And that's the key thing. I say it's, the whole Pareto rule, 80-20 and all that sort of stuff, is that give me the smallest piece of information that helps me make the biggest result. And that's what I think that people lack and people confuse themselves with by saying, we did a podcast on body type diets, or questions on meal timing strategies, or should I have this supplement, that supplement. I looked on a forum yesterday on Facebook, and they were basically debating BCAAs versus a little bit of glutamine in your post-workout shake. And it's just, dude, you just want to build some muscle. Just focus on training hard, protein frequency, and calories. That's it. Just get that nailed. And what most people forget is that they don't think about those basics because they're boring. They want the sexy answer. They want the interesting thing. They want to chase the extra piece of something to really kind of help them fast forward their progress, I guess. And I think it's the same thing in, I've noticed it whether, I don't profess to be some sort of business guru by any means, but I think you do pick up things and you observe and you see what other people do and you kind of learn from that, and you learn from your own mistakes. I've made a huge amount of mistakes in my business over the last year or so, but you learn and you kind of adapt and you move forward. But the thing is that you see a lot of people who give out, nutrition advice and training advice to say, keep things simple, focus on calories, focus on the basics, this, and this. Don't chase the supplement, the powder, the pill, the potion, all that sort of bollocks. But, turn that on their own business and they're doing the exact same thing. They're chasing the magic solution. Is it the time you post on Instagram? Is that the most crucial thing to get the most engagement? And, what sort of automation should I use to maximize this and all this sort of stuff? And to me, then most people are actually missing the fundamental basics. The equivalent of calories in that sense, to me, is communication and connection with your audience. If you can't communicate with your audience, the time you fucking post on Instagram makes jack difference to anything to do with your business. But like I say, no business guru, no social media guru. I'm just giving you my opinion on what I see. So that was kind of like where I was going with this whole thing, was that I think that quote of, I'm not here, if you want to impress people, make it complicated. If you want to help people, keep it simple. And that's kind of really solidified for me. My approach is that I want to help people, I want to keep it simple. And that's the way I'm going to always do it. So yeah, kind of, as I said, these are one take videos, so I don't quite know where my thoughts go in the whole process, but yeah, that's kind of where it is. So my thing to you would be, don't get carried away by pills, potions, powders, things like that. If you are looking to lose weight, you are in a calorie deficit, you're focusing on key things like training, protein, calorie deficit, all those sorts of things, then just apply principles of time and patience. Don't try and make things super, super complicated. Obviously, you can optimize nutrition and things like that, but it really does come back to the basics. And if you haven't got those basics nailed, don't go and jump onto something else. So that's just my thoughts for today. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you do have any questions or anything like that, feel free to let me know and I'll ramble on about that. But I'm just going to finish my little brew and speak to you soon.